Hi! So this week we're going to go over kind of the main organization that you're going to be doing each week. So if you look at week 2 or lesson 2, you'll notice there's again the main page, and that's a good place to kind of get everything together. And then you have midweek, you have all the assignments, and these will be due Wednesday 11 p.m. Mountain Time. And you'll also want to check and make sure what time that will be in your own time zone, and that's what it should show up as. So here we have the grammar lesson. You'll notice that this is again just something to kind of look at general terminology. If you need some more help, you'll look at a handout which goes along with the video here, and then there's also a little bit more resources that you can look at, usually some exercises, and then when you feel comfortable, you'll take the quiz. You have 2 times to take it. It is open and notebook, open to these different handouts. It's just not open to other people. So keep that in mind 2 times, and you can look at it this way. And that's going to be the same each week, right? Going back to midweek here. Then you'll see there's a paragraph and essay development. So these are going to be videos usually that you're going to watch. Occasionally there's going to be some handouts as well, and usually there'll be transcripts as well to kind of get you to understand some of the concepts that we're talking about. So paragraphs, MS Words for Beginners, Clarity, and they're going to change each week. Then you have a reading assignment that will go with the discussion board. So these will go together. So the reading assignment is going to tell you what you need to read. Again, these are going to be they're going to be either examples or talk about concepts with writing. So Born to Write, let's be specific in how to communicate effectively. And there's also usually further readings as well. Just a warning on this one that it does have a swear word, although it's not in a swearing context, but that's something that you want to keep in mind. If you are sensitive, then you probably don't want to go ahead and read this. This will take you to the instructions. And this is where you're going to see the different prompts. You'll notice that each one of them has a number, and then I'm also going to post them on your discussion board. So instead of doing your own thread, go ahead and respond to this one. So that just means that all the answers to one question are going to be together. It's going to make it a little bit easier to see what everyone has said, and also for me to answer that. So just keep that in mind. Instead of doing your own thread, look for the prompt number and then respond to that. And there may be smaller groups later on just to help with things, but most of the time we'll keep them in the bigger groups. All right, so then let's go back and look at the very last thing. So that's going to be by Wednesday of each week. You should be doing that. And then usually you're going to have the first draft due Wednesday of the first week. Then you'll have a rough draft that will be due next week at Wednesday. And then you'll also have the final draft. So that will be due Saturday. So you'll see Wednesday, Saturday. It will change a little bit later on. So here we have the instructions for that, and then you'll turn in your first draft. Now notice just a couple things on this that you will have where you're just going to copy and paste it, right? Just do that here. But on the instructions, you'll notice that there are going to be different formatting and length. And look at the page number rather than the word minimum. This will just tell you that if you don't get this minimum, you're not going to get full points for the draft. So keep that in mind, but it is the page range that matters, and these will matter on your final essay, not on the drafts. And you're just going to copy and paste, and it's going to take that away. So if you do have questions, feel free to email or ask them on the discussion board. And then make sure that the final that you do attach it and that you have all this formatting. So then after midweek, of course, you have the gathering. So you'll notice here it talks about this is when you're going to go and have kind of the regular gathering. So you'll have some things that the lead student will do at the beginning of them, but the main thing that you're going to be doing at the gathering is a peer review. And so here are the questions. You can also here's the gathering worksheet with those questions. I would suggest that getting this up and printing it out so you can take it with you. And then also, these are just a reminder of some of the things that you want to be doing as you do feedback, right? And then also there are the lesson plans for the next couple weeks, for this week as well as next week, so you know what's going on. And then after, of course, the pathway gathering, everything else we do at the end of the week. So you'll notice that there you'll do the grammar lesson earlier in the week, and you can take this right away. It should be open, but you have until the end of the week, especially since you have it twice, so you can take it all the way up until Saturday. Then you have your discussion board responses. Again, 2 of them, 50 to 75 words. You can do them earlier in the week, but you just have to have the first one by Wednesday, and then the second one then should be by Saturday. So just make sure you're doing them on different days. So if you want to do one on Monday and then the 2 on Tuesday because they're responses, feel free to do that. Attendance, you'll notice that you have, again, you have different options when you're reporting attendance, so make sure you read them carefully. On the weekly report instructions, one of the main things that you're going to be doing now is also talking about the speaking partner report. So make sure that you know what material you're talking about before you meet. And this takes you to that place as well. There's some additional discussion topics that you can talk about. If you don't get a speaking partner, then you'll be working on the alternative assignment next week. So look for that if you haven't heard from a speaking partner at the end of the week. Just realize that you're going to start working on the speaking partner alternative assignment. And then, of course, you'll start the weekly report, which will also report on whether you've done discussions, usually if you've read and watched everything, those kinds of things.